You ready?
Hi, good morning, everyone. This is Jackie.
And Coach Patrick.
Guys, you're listening to Help Matters here on 94.7 WAAW.
That's right. This is another day, Jackie, the Lord has made.
Hey, we gonna rejoice and be glad in it, Coach. We gonna choose to anyway.
That's right. We got to do that. We got to do that. We're commanded to do that.
Absolutely.
Rejoice and be glad in it.
I tell you, this heat is hot.
It's on.
It's hot. It's hot. It's hot. It's on. The heat is on. Yes, the heat is on, guys. So be careful out there. We're going to be talking about that later on in the show, about summer safety. You know, we're in the hottest month.
That's right.
In Augusta.
Well,
you know?
I don't know. August is considered the hottest month, and it ain't even here yet.
Well, I'm going to say month. You know, the July, August, but who knows? And you know, we had all these storms popping up, and we just came back from Florida, and
we had a good time.
We had a great and wonderful time. It was a great experience for our grandkids, but it was just I don't know. It's just
well, it's different because when you're at a different age, it's just different.
I know, y'all. It's so funny. I wish I would record Coach Man. He was like, we all had to just sit down like every hour and go
get some water,
get some water, because as soon as you drink, as soon as you drink the water, you you sweat it right back off, so you have to continue to stay hydrated, you know. So yeah, absolutely, it's me, so I'm speaking into the mic. So you would have to just continue to stay hydrated, and like you said, as you age, you know, you kind of need to continue to drink water. But I tell you, it was so hot. We had an awesome time, but it was so hot, guys.
Had a little weather on that Tuesday, but you know, hey, it's
one of those spurts of storms that just kind of came to cool down and made it hotter.
Yeah, just like it's been in Augusta, them scattered storms.
Yes.
But we got through it, had a good time.
Yes,
so listen, it is July. Happy birthday to everybody that's celebrating the birthday.
Yes.
Of course, we still celebrating our grandbaby, Aya. Her birthday was on the 11th, and so she's celebrating the whole month.
Oh, whole month. She said she's going to celebrate the rest of July. Mm-hmm. I said, okay, you go ahead. You go ahead and do that. Right. And so also we had Joanne Moody. She celebrated her milestone, a 60th birthday.
Awesome.
Happy birthday. Yeah. We had several birthdays.
A lot of birthdays in July.
Anniversaries.
Happy anniversary to our pastor and first lady, Dr. Michael
39 years Mitchell. Of marriage.
Right, 39 years of marriage. And Dunn and Dunham Wesby, 27 years of marriage.
And our sister-in-law and her husband, Jerry and Valerie Petway, their anniversary.
Houston.
Yes. Their anniversary. Happy anniversary to you guys.
Right.
So
guys, enjoy yourself. You know, however you did it, you did it.
And then she celebrated her birthday next month. So
both of
them. It's amazing. Their anniversaries in August. I mean, it's July, and then their birthday, both is in August, so they got a back-to-back.
Right.
Yeah.
So listen, our sponsors for the Help Matters broadcast, Dr. Dan, Aiken Chiropractic. When your spine is aligned, your body is too. Aiken Chiropractic is located at 425 Lawrence Street Northwest, right here in Aiken, South Carolina. Their number is 803-641-9191. The website is www.aikenchiropractic.com. If you would like to be a sponsor, partner, or friend of the broadcast, you can call 706-592-8862. And also, if you like to be a sponsor of the radio station, you can also call the office number. What is that office number?
The number, I don't have that direct number for the business office right there, but the office number is right there, 803-659, right over there to your left.
Okay, office number is 803-649. 6405. Got to get back used to these numbers, y'all.
Okay.
But the office line is 803-649-6405 if you would like to be a sponsor or sponsor a show or a broadcast or just sponsor the radio station. There are many opportunities for you to make that investment for your business. It's a great investment. This radio station has a large footprint in the CSRA area, so you can't go wrong.
Oh, okay. And guys, you know, if you want to call in and chime in and just kind of say, hey, welcome back, WAW. This morning, the number is 803-226-0041. Or you can call 803-226-0041 or 0043. And you can call and just share your views and opinions. Say, hey, guys, and how is the station has been blessing you. You can call from around Waynesboro, Hexaba. We had a lot of calls last weekend, so we appreciate it. So, guys, pick that phone up and give us a call and say, hey, guys, we are happy to have you guys back on the air. So we've been getting a lot of feedback on Facebook. And so, and speaking of Facebook, thank you, Dr. Benita Mitchell and Wayne Jameson. Thank you for joining us early this morning.
Thank you.
And anyone else that is on, guys, good morning. Thank you for joining us. And you can join us live on Facebook or YouTube. So we are live on social media platforms.
What's those addresses?
And those addresses is Get Fit with Jackie Fitness on Facebook and
Help
Matters with Jackie and Coach on YouTube.
Help Matters, Jackie and Coach.
But we also don't want you to join. We want you to subscribe to our channels and like our page, guys. So, yeah. But we are here to bring you relevant information that pertain to your health and well-being, guys. And that's what we do, and, you know, to bring awareness to the community.
Yes, sir. So let's get these couple of announcements here. WAW, Shout 94.7 FM. We're having our Welcome Back WAW Celebration Luncheon Saturday, August the 23rd at 12 p.m. It's going to be held at the Leslie B. Price Senior and Youth Center, 841 Edgefield Avenue, Northwest in Aiken, South Carolina, 29801. If you would like, that's going to be a program booklet. So we're selling ads for sales for the program booklet. If you would like to put a full page, quarter page, half page, whatever you would like, there's an opportunity to do that. There are different prices for the different ads that you would like in the book. But you can, again, call 803-649-6405. That is the business office if you would like to have an ad in the book. Okay. Also, if you would like to participate or come, I think it's $25 for the event. Yeah, I think it's $25 for the event itself. That's going to be held August 23rd at 12 p.m.
Celebration luncheon. And guys, you know, we're still in the summer, but I think next week the teachers start going back to school.
Well, they can go back to school Monday.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
so we
21st.
Wow.
South Carolina
Man,
schools.
Look how this time just go by. It's just like, I don't know if it's because we was young.
Like
we just had a long summer. It was just longer.
Mm-hmm.
But now it's just like
right, goes right through.
Just go right through.
Well, speaking of back to school, you know, there's a lot of back to school bashes that's going to be coming up. So make sure that you get out, you support, you get your children there. Take this opportunity to get some things to help you where you won't have to come out your pocket with so much money, you know, to get the school supplies. I know of one right now. That's the back to school bash at Restoration Ministries located at 2404 Tobacco Road. That's going to be July 27 at 10 a.m. July 27 at 10 a.m. Back to school bash at Restoration Ministries International. That's on 2404 Tobacco Road in Augusta, Georgia.
And also stay tuned into the broadcast during the week. They announced those back to school bash. I know DJ Flock they're having one unless they had it this weekend. Baby Shine, kind of listened to her today. She comes on at
Saturdays 10 a.m.
10 a.m. She will be announcing that. She has her own LSC organization that she sponsors, you know, back to school bash. So kind of tune into those program that are out there doing back to school bash, but you have a lot of them. I think in Grovetown is I think it's the 24th of July. They will be having health screenings out there, free eye exams, all the haircuts,
take advantage
everything.
of that stuff, guys.
Take advantage of it, guys. You know,
it's for you.
Free.
It's for the community.
It's free. Take advantage of it. They're out there supporting the community, providing the service for the children and the families. Because otherwise you have to pay for physicals for sports. So get out there and go. I know it's hot, but get out there and take part in these free back to school things here. Yeah,
help for your children, most definitely. So last week we started our summer safety, healthy fun in the sun, kind of part one, where we talked about heat injuries, heat illnesses, and things like that. But you know, we want to talk about a few other things so we can close this topic out on the day. As Jackie said, always feel free to chime in, call in. If you're on social media, shoot us a text on what you feel about the topic, and we'll share it, all right? But as you and your family, you know, have fun in the sun, it's always important to remember your health, because your health can be, I tell you,
it matters. It matters.
It matters when it's out there in that heat. But we want you to stay healthy, you know, as you're having fun. One of the big things when it starts to get hot, we're doing a lot of travel. The kids are out of school, and we have the smaller kids with us and things like that. So, and you probably hit on the station a lot about check the back seat.
Check the back
so
seat.
Important. You know, I don't remember this happening when we had babies. We had kids, people leaving babies in the car and stuff.
I don't know.
Unless they just didn't highlight it, you know, but it seems so prevalent today.
Yes, and it just happened in, I think it was in Atlanta.
Cobb County.
Cobb County. 2 kids was left.
117 degrees.
And that's been about 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yes, for 40 minutes.
Yeah, the baby's hollering and crying.
Yeah,
you got to be careful with that. It only takes about 10 minutes for your car to heat up to dangerous temperatures and, you know, potentially killing or permanently injuring a child. So in 10 minutes, the temperature in the car can increase by 20 degrees. And just think about that. I mean, the temperature here has been 99, 95, and 100
that's not
degrees.
Including the index of it, you know, like 105, 103, 100, and, you know, some places 111 in Florida. So check your back seat, guys. Check your back seat. They're supposed to have things in cars now that warns you. They some kind of sound will go off to let you know to check the back seat. They give you a signal to always check your back seat, you know, for the children, you know. And it's just so like you say, I just don't remember
having that issue, that being an issue. But it's
an issue today, so we want to make sure we make you aware of that.
10 minutes, Jackie. In 10 minutes, it can increase by 20 degrees. So you can't just hop out the car and say, I'm running right in the store, running right in here, I'll be right back. We got to be mindful of that.
Right.
And then children overheat up to 5 times faster than adults do. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration says that since 1998, there have been more than 700 deaths resulting from adults leaving a young child in a hot car.
Yes.
So just be mindful of that. Doing that also, some of the things that it can cause is permanent brain damage.
Yes.
It can cause blindness, cause loss of hearing. So children left in hot cars can easily suffer from heat stroke, and we know that can be fatal. You know, you can die from that. So caused by elevated body temperature. So we have to be mindful of these things. Some of the things that you can do to remind yourself that you have your kids in the back is, you know, put your purse or your wallet in the back seat. You got to get that right before you go in the store.
Yeah, sometimes you can leave that.
But you'll remember it real quick when you get in that store.
Or even set alarm to, like, okay, just, you know, check the back seat, get the kids out the car. I mean, this stuff sounds simple, but it's real. I mean, it's real.
Well, make it a habit to look before you lock.
Yeah, because this can cause permanent brain injury, blindness, loss of hearing, you know, and we don't want to do that. And, you know, and pets are no different.
I'm telling you.
You know, people got pets, they love their pets, and you see it all the time. Pets are in the car. You know, sometimes the owner have the windows down, but sometimes that is just not enough. You know, if the air conditioner is not on. So and of course they pant and they get you know,
they don't
overheated.
sweat, so it's hard for them to heat their body.
Exactly.
Right.
So they're incapable of sweating.
Right.
So you have to make sure that they are taken care of, because
Most
people have pets, they love their pets. So
you know, people liken that to just you sitting in your car with a fur coat on. You know, how do you think that would feel? So you know that kind of puts
and high flashing.
you know, so you know, sitting in the hot car in Augusta, GA, or Aiken, SC, you know, in a fur coat. You know, so that's, think
Yeah.
about it. You know, when you leave your pets in the car, it can be really, really hard for them, and you know they can get heat stroke and all of these things as well. Also, be mindful, very mindful of that.
And if you have diabetes, you know, type 1 or type 2, that puts you at an even higher risk. You know,
underlying conditions.
Absolutely, complications such as blood vessels and nerves, and it affects the sweat glands. Your body can't cool itself off effectively. And also, I want to remind people, you know, it's very easy to get dehydrated when you're up in age. It really is. Anybody can get dehydrated, but it's easier, it's more quicker for older adults to get dehydrated more than, you know, younger adults. So make sure you're drinking plenty of cool water, because it cools down the body temperature quicker than a room temperature water. So making sure that water is one time in my life I got dehydrated, and that's not a good feeling, to be dehydrated where you had to go get an IV. And so, and one thing I learned, that you just can't just go drink a whole bunch of water. You have to sip it little by little, and get yourself back hydrated like you should. So you have to just kind of sip it, or eat, even eat on some ice, like 4 ounces of water at a time, until your body get back regulated to its hydration state.
And we talked about hydration and dehydration. So if you missed that show, you can go back on our Facebook channel, YouTube channel, and catch it. You know, we talked about it's very important to drink water. So that's a good point that you make, Jackie. Yeah. But I want to jump back on diabetes a little bit to make sure we cover all the points about it, because that can lead to heat exhaustion and heat stroke when your body is not cooling as effectively as it should. And as Jackie explained about the damage to the blood vessels and things like that, that's what causes it in people with diabetes. People with diabetes get dehydrated more quickly. Not drinking enough liquids, as Jackie just said, can raise the blood sugar. So, you know, it can raise the blood sugar, not only just dehydration, but, you know, it can raise your blood sugar, and high blood sugar can make you urinate more, causing the dehydration. So, yeah, we really have to be mindful for that if you have an underlying condition like diabetes. And then some of the commonly used drugs, Jackie, and medicines that, like diuretics, water pills, basically, to treat high blood pressure, can dehydrate you too. So, you know, the very thing that you're taking to help treat these underlying conditions, high blood pressure, diabetes, whatever it may be, could cause some issues too.
And how you change how your body, your high temperatures also can change how your body uses insulin.
Good point.
So you may need to test your blood sugars more often. And as you age, you do need to check your blood sugar more often, to adjust your insulin dose of what you eat and drink. And you have to modify that, with being a diabetic anyway. There are certain, and people can tell you that have diabetes, they have to kind of eat at a certain time. They have to have a routine of how they eat, because if they allow their blood sugar level to drop, then they have to kind of bring it back up by eating something sweet, like every 30 minutes to it get back to a normal state. Yeah. So because Coach Patrick and I do diabetes prevention, as also the diabetes self-management, that we teach those courses and to the community. So yes, you have to be mindful of that, of underlying conditions that you have. So if you're drinking soda or sugary drinks, be mindful of the amount. I'm not saying you don't have it, that's your own preference, but just be mindful the amount of what you're having, and make sure you want to increase your electrolytes. And a lot of people want to get Gatorades, and so sometimes those things can contain a lot of sugar and a lot of other ingredients in there. So you may want to just try to get you some lemons, and put into your water. That naturally bring your alkaline level back up as well.
Especially if
or
you know
some
you're gonna
salted salt. Salted salt. Put it right under your tongue. And and just rub it up under your tongue and just let it dissolve there. That help regulates your electrolytes as well. So you can those are some of the natural holistic way you can do that without consuming extra sugary things extra sugary liquids.
Yeah, beverages.
To hydrate. So.
Right. And especially if you know you're going to be spending a lot of time outside in the sun, you know, there's extra precautions that you want to take. As Jackie talked about, older adults, they don't adjust as well as young people to sudden changes in the temperature. They are more likely to have a chronic medical condition that we just talked about that changes normal body responses to the heat. And that's what it is. If you're on medication and things like that, they can change how your body responds to certain things, because really medication kind of shuts down a lot of things to, help you with symptoms and things of that nature. Older people are more likely to take prescription medicines, as I just said, that affects the body's ability to control its temperature or sweat. And then, Jackie, people with asthma, breathing in the hot air, whether dry or filled with moisture, can trigger symptoms because it causes the airways to tighten and narrow. In contrast, extreme heat can cause the air to become stagnant. And when the air becomes stagnant, it traps pollens, dust, mold, and other pollutants that may trigger an asthma flare. So it's important to understand and know, just be aware of these things, if you have these type of underlying conditions. And if it's extremely hot outside and you're going to be spending some time, out there, make sure that you're prepared. And pay attention and monitor your body. Just monitor your body. Your body will tell you when it needs to go back inside, or it needs some shade, or it needs some water. Monitor your body.
Yeah. I had heard someone said, Coach, that, we was talking about that heat seemed like it's just sitting right in front of you. And it's so bright.
It's hot.
Sometimes I go out there, the sun is so bright and so hot. And and I love my vitamin D. You can tell when your body is needing it, because you go out there and it just absorbs it. But sometimes you go out there, it's just hot. And someone said, because of the fact, someone made a comment saying that, when Helena came, we cut a lot of trees down. So those trees that releases all the oxygen and blocked a lot of the sun, now it's just open. Now you're feeling more of the heat.
Well, that's just like a desert. You have no trees in the desert. So
well, does it feel like that in the desert? I know I've been in the desert, so it feels that way in the desert?
It's worse.
Oh, gosh.
You can't get away from it.
Oh, my goodness.
In the desert, 110, 115 degrees is a daily thing.
Wow.
And you can sweat so much that your skin just
gets attacking. But you're constantly drinking because you're constantly... releasing sweating, so wow.
Yeah, that's a different animal. Your body starts to get gray and tacky, and more just stay. It's different in the desert. But in reference to you saying about the trees, it does affect it, because the trees helps. Even if you have trees around your home, it blocks the sun from shining directly on your home, making you have to turn them ACs up, a little bit. So, if you had a lot of trees around your home and you've cut them down because of, the storm that we had, you probably noticed this summer that your air conditioner bill may be a little bit higher, because that heat is hitting that house, and it's causing you to have to turn that air up to keep it more cooler in the house, because you don't have that buffer, the trees blocking that sunshine, that direct sunlight. So it makes a difference.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
And guys, I know we're out there still grilling.
Oh my goodness.
And guys, just be careful out there when you're grilling in the heat. Make sure you're doing it either early in the morning or late in the evening. But also be careful of cross-contamination, guys, because that can help prevent foodborne illness. Because cross-contamination, I tell you, you have to be very mindful where you eat today.
Oh, yeah.
What you eat today.
Yes, you do.
You really have to, guys. You
Yes,
have
you
to
do.
make sure you're washing your vegetables. You make sure you're washing your fruits
Mm-hmm.
and vegetables,
Mm-hmm.
and getting some baking powder, and just kind of soak them and kind of get all that residue stuff that is out there. And we talked about there, and it is out there. You can go on and look at it. Out there, it's out there. The government FDA have approved the chemical called Apeel, APEEL. It has been approved by the federal to for organics. So stuff it's
Like a coating or
like
something.
for like yeah to last,
Mm-hmm.
because we have a garden, so we had cucumbers, and I'm like, after 2 days you start seeing that stuff, they start getting old, because
Mm-hmm.
we
After you
we
take
didn't
it from
pull
the
it from
vine.
the source, from
Right.
the vine. It's
Right.
just like God said, I am the vine, you the branch,
Right.
apart from me.
Yeah.
But that's what it's like saying, you pull that as soon as you cut that vegetable or fruit off from its source, it begin to start
Right.
going,
Losing nutrients.
losing it
Yeah.
nutrients.
Changing.
Yes, the enzymes, all of those things.
Drying up.
And that's why you have to
Yeah.
eat it immediately.
Right.
It only gonna last for so long. So
Right.
now they have created something to put on there
Mm-hmm.
to make it last long, because of the demand. It's such a demand
Right.
now. It's hard to get fruits. It's hard to get vegetables. You have so many recalls of fruits and vegetables out there today that you never heard of. How you ask yourself, how do cucumbers get contaminated? How do tomatoes get contaminated? So we have all these things so high in pesticide. You know, they had a article where what are the most highest pesticides fruits, and it was like strawberries, blueberries, spinach, all these things. So
that's good for you, right?
you have to be very careful in restaurants. I'm very reluctant not to eat salads in restaurants like I used to, because of the fact that stuff is not being washed, or people cut what they cut with meat. They may get slacky and cut it with vegetables. You just don't know.
Just don't know.
You don't know.
And
you don't know. That's why you got to pray over your food and be mindful, but still be mindful.
Be mindful.
Because if you know, practice precautions, and ask questions, or cook at home. Right. As much as possible.
So we'll be bringing our Health Matters happenings back. That's where we share with you anything that alerts, anything about food.
Food alert,
like not just food, anything that matters to your health. We'll be making those, alerts, occasionally. So we'll have a little tune that comes on, and you'll know that that's a Health Matters happening, as we're about to share something with you. As Jackie said, we're talking about grilling and how cross-contamination, some of the illness that it could cause if that does happen, is nausea, vomiting, stomach pain, diarrhea. And you don't want nobody coming to your home and, you're barbecuing and cooking, and they go back home and they get all sick, nauseated for the next 2 days. They probably won't come to your house. No, I'm just joking. But be careful with cross contamination.
Yeah.
And containers. Don't use the same containers for raw food that you use for cooked foods.
Right.
Make sure you separate those and cook your meat thoroughly, especially chicken. Now, if you at somebody's house and you bite into a piece of chicken and it look like somebody hit you in the lip because you're bleeding now, cook your meat thoroughly, especially chicken, because sometimes that chicken is still bleeding, and that could be
cutting boards. Not good. Be careful cutting boards, and what type of cutting boards.
Stuff.
And you're cleaning your cutting board, because stuff like even your wood cutting boards, you still have to make sure they're clean, because stuff get trapped inside of there. This stuff is serious, and as you age, older adults, and your immune system is compromised, and you can kind of get a little bit more symptoms than a younger adult. So we have to be very careful and mindful.
And then using charcoal. Be careful with the charcoal because it can be dangerous, especially if you're using too much lighter fluid or, I don't have lighter fluid, so I'm going to grab the gasoline. Gasoline or other flammables to ignite the charcoal.
That's
a fire. Now, all of these things could cause serious burns. I've seen people that got burnt by that because they put either too much lighter fluid or, use gasoline because they didn't have lighter fluid. You have to be very careful with that. But not only that, the petroleum-based lighter fluid produces volatile organic compounds, VOCs, and that leaves petroleum residue on your food. And if it's on your food, guess what?
It gets into your body. Into
Over
time, so much of it, gets into your lung and cause other issues.
Most definitely.
So you want to make sure you guys are being mindful
of that. Don't use too much of that fluid,
yeah.
And then in an enclosed space, if you're using charcoal in an enclosed space, it can cause carbon monoxide poisoning. That can result in death. So be mindful of that. And real quickly, watch the sodium. Watch the sodium in the barbecue sauce, baked beans, collard greens, all that good stuff, that we cook. And the seasonings you put on your food, watch that sodium level because it get real high real quick. The recommended amount of sodium intake is 2,300 milligrams.
15.
Well, I mean, if you have hypertension, but the general amount is 2,300 milligrams of sodium per day.
And that's easy
for the normal person.
That's easy to do.
Right, but now if you have hypertension or something like that, your doctor would tell you to keep it around 12 to 1,500.
Yeah, and it's easy to do.
That's
a pinch or smidget of sodium. So we have to learn how to train our taste bud because we are not taking account of how much sodium we consume on a daily basis when we're eating certain things because we're not looking at our labels. We're not looking at all these ingredients and chemicals that are in there. Even though they have sodium listed, you may have hidden sodium in that direct ingredient, even though they may put sodium in there, but you may have an ingredient in there that have more. So I understand that there's a blueprint to look at, but food labels are misleading if you don't understand it and do your homework.
Most definitely. So the big thing about the sodium, watching that is because the sodium could cause elevated blood pressure. If you're in the sun and all of these things work against you. Causing elevated blood pressure, blood sugar levels elevated. So and maybe you want to try some alternatives on the grill. Try to grill some vegetables, seafood, and grilled fruit. I know that's a big alternative. That's a big shift for some people. But I'm telling you,
some people,
try these things.
The culture, man, they want that taste.
Let's get ready to go to a break, Jackie.
Okay, guys, you've been listening to Health Matters with Jackie and Coach, guys. But we hope you're enjoying this conversation. And guys, if you want to chime in on this conversation, remember the number is 803-226-0041 or 0043. We welcome your views and opinion here and share what's on your heart. Even if you just want to say, hey, welcome back, WAW, back to the CSRA. Guys, but we finna take a break and we want you to stay tuned in and locked down right here on Shout 94.7 WAAW. Hey.
How y'all doing out there in social media land? Hope all is well. Good morning to everybody. Thank you for tuning in.
Deborah. Hi, Deborah Watkins, Sharon McDaniels, all of you guys that are watching. Appreciate it, guys. Always thank you for the support. Thank you for taking your time out to join us, guys. We thank you. Thank you so much. All right, guys. I'm going to share a commercial with you. They can hear it. Right? They can hear it.
Yeah. You see it on your phone?
I'm on Facebook.
You still should see it on Facebook.
Now I am. It's behind.
You're not seeing it?
It's behind. Talking to you. many more seconds? We got 1 more minute. What happened to our
Say what?
Our song? I thought it was in the lineup. Our song, I thought it was in the lineup. All right, 5 more minutes.
All right, let's get back to the session.
All right. All right. We are back here. You've been listening to Help Matters with Jackie.
And Coach Patrick.
Guys, we've been talking about summer safety, and this is the part 2, Healthy Fun in the Sun, part 2. And guys, we're just bringing you relevant information, guys, that pertain to your health and well-being. And these are some of the things that we do in the summertime. So we want to raise awareness of what to be careful of and what to do and what not to do. So that's what we're here to do. So we left off, we're talking about grilling, cross-contamination, and how to prevent food-borne illness, guys. And so I think we left off with talking about charcoals and those things of that nature. So guys, swimming, it's a great opportunity in the summertime when we swim, but you got to be very careful.
Got to.
We have the Lizzie Law now, the little boy that took swimming lesson, had, lost his life, but, his memories still live on. And that prompted them to create the Lizzie Law. Now you have to have so many adults with children. So that ratio to adult with children, so to make sure the kids are being watched, and you're being careful and they're being monitored. So that's a good thing, It took his life to do that, but thank God his mom. And so we're going to get on the show one day and talk to her. But yes, so we do have that. So you have to be careful, That's why it's very important to get your kids some swimming lessons. Even if with swimming lessons, you still got to be careful and keep an eye on it. But yes, you have all these. You have the YMCA, you have the Croc Center, you have these places that provide swimming lesson for the children. So you want to make sure you get your kids some swimming lessons so they'll be able to swim.
Right, and be able to save themselves if they do fall, and you're not looking for a minute, at least until you can get to them.
Exactly, because that's all it takes is a second or a minute.
That's right. So summertime, like Jack said, is a great opportunity for swimming and other water sports. And the children, guys, look forward, to having fun. In the sun, playing around water, playing in water. Matter of fact, when you get them around water, you can't get them out. They'll stay in there all day. But, it's a good, because that's a great way to combat child obesity and sedentary lifestyle, because most of the time they want to just be in front of a monitor. But at least, when it's summertime, it's sun, they're around the water, they're moving, they're running, they're working muscles.
Active, they're moving, yes. Yeah.
So that's a good thing. But like I said, it's very important, and keep in mind, that drowning is a leading cause of unintentional death for children aged 1 to 14 in the United States. So it's very important to keep an eye on your children when around water. We can't stress that enough, how important it is that somebody has an eye on the children when they are in the water. It doesn't take long, guys, especially if you don't have a lifeguard at the pool. But a lifeguard should always be present during swimming hours, especially
or when you're at the lake or somewhere with your family or at the beach, So it's like I said, it only takes seconds, for a young child to fill up.
Right. And then they're gonna stress. They're gonna stress out when they
panic because they're kids. That's what they're gonna do, and that makes them sink even quicker.
Right. And take in more water in their nose and in their body.
So
And
just
then,
be very mindful of that. And if you can get your kids swimming lessons,
right.
please do. And it's important to do it early because I know I put my kids in the water very early, and so they got used to it. My daughter was 8 months. I
Right.
think my son, he was more about 2,
Right.
but my daughter was 8 months, and
They recommend at
they
least by age
because
4.
they're swimming in
Right.
there in water anyway. So
Yeah.
they say it's best to put them in there
As
soon as possible.
So, if there's not a lifeguard around, make sure you got the safety equipment, around the pool area that you may need, like a ring or a rope, should always be visible and accessible in an accessible area, just in case you need to use it to throw out to someone if they need to be pulled in. Not just children. You especially if you're eating, be careful with eating and drinking when you're swimming because you can catch cramps. You can be a great swimmer, but if you've been eating a lot and you catch cramps and things of that nature, that could hinder your ability to swim properly and keep yourself afloat. So just be mindful of all those things. We were talking about the recommended age limit. It said that the recommended age limit for children is around age 4 should learn how to swim. If you have a pool, try to have some fencing around it. That can prevent 50 to 90% of child drownings or near drownings. So if you have a pool in your yard, keep some type of fencing around it, especially if you have small children. Because again, if you're chilling out in the house, you got the patio door open or whatever, and they may ease out there thinking it's okay to go get in that water because they used to being in there with mom and dad, but you're not there. So just be mindful of that, especially if you have a pool in your yard. You may consider investing in safety covers for the pool, even if you have whirlpools and spas in your yard. So you may want to invest in covers for those so that when you're not using them, they are covered and the kids can't get into that water. So that's very important.
Yes, it is. And like Coach said, I didn't know Aiken was starting back to school. Cause be very mindful. It's been a month and a half. Kids been out of school, so they'll be back in pedestrian walks. Please be mindful. Stop when the bus stops. Don't go past the bus. Be mindful of our children going to and fro school and on the pedestrian. Please stop. No one is in that hurry to where they can hit someone or hurt someone. We have had several pedestrian and people, young kids that has been hit,
right,
by vehicles. So be very mindful, in school. No texting, while you're driving. Stay off the phone. Get rid of distraction. Pay attention because you may be driving careful, but you may have somebody else not paying attention.
Most definitely.
Is distracted and you get distracted. That can be an issue. So please be mindful out there. The kids are going back to school and respect the buses.
Right, because you kind of get out of practice, doing the
Yes,
being watchful, So, but when you start seeing those bright yellow buses and kids, on the sidewalk,
right,
to go ahead and slow down. But to get back to the water safety, and properly chlorinated pools, most germs are killed within minutes, but bacteria can live for days. So be careful with public swimming areas because they can harbor bacteria that causes gastrointestinal, skin, ear, respiratory, eye, neurology, and wound infections. One of the most common gastrointestinal is diarrhea, especially if you get that water in your mouth. So try not to swallow that water. Don't let it get in your mouth and things like that, because that can really cause some things to happen if that water has bacteria in it, germs and things of that nature. Drinking and boating could cause accidents in the water, falling out of boats, getting hit by propellers and drowning. So all of these things can happen, even accidents on the water, just like you have a car accident. So be careful with the drinking. If you're drinking, don't be the one controlling the boat. Let someone else control it. Just like if you're drinking in a vehicle, a motor vehicle, with wheels, let someone else do the driving. Alcohol is associated with about 70% of water recreation deaths. So we really have to be careful with alcohol usage when we're participating in water sports or anything around water. Like I said, even when you're swimming and things of that nature, have to be careful with alcohol. Don't overdo it. Enjoy yourself. Have a drink or two if that's what you want to do, but be mindful that the heat is on and that stuff can affect your body. Really
also,
can.
guys, I want to say, and even working out, watch your intensity. When you're working out, because it is hot. Try to find workout is. If you're not in a cool environment and you're outside working out, please make sure if you can do it early in the morning or late in the afternoon. And it's been like 80 some degrees even at 8 o'clock at night.
Right.
But just be mindful of that. Be careful of the type of clothing. Make sure they are breathable clothing. Watch the plastic jackets and stuff. People see things and it gets trending, and a lot of that stuff is just not safe. You can suffocate in things like that, because now you're holding in all of your body is not able to cool itself off. So be careful of the garments, your clothing, the things that you're working at, and the intensity of your workout in these extreme heats, whether if you are working outside.
Great
points.
Great points.
And hot tubs, warm and moist provided.
Life jacket.
Yeah, the life jacket.
Yeah,
and make sure you having life jackets, even for your children. Sometimes these little blubber things, it's not enough. They have them, but they got some now that are attached to the wings. Yeah, and plus they got some that are attached to the vest. So make sure you're getting the proper attire for your children if you're going to put them in water, for their safety and even yourself.
Right.
I was in the pool on vacation, and I don't know how I slipped, but I just went back, and Coach just sitting there looking at me. I'm like, come help me.
I had the babies. I couldn't
And
do
I'm like, come help me. I'm just slipped, but I got up, and I don't know what happened. I just lost my balance, for a minute. So y'all, things can happen. So just be very cautious.
Yeah, and it's important to wear your life jackets, because a lot of times we get on the boat, we'll just sit them under the seat, and they're there, because that's what the law says. You just got to have the life jacket on the boat. You don't have to have it on. So I don't know why the law would say that, but wear them. Put the jacket
bulky
on.
And
well, still, but you might not have time to get. I'd rather it be bulky than.
I agree. I totally agree with you. I totally agree with you.
Wear them life jackets. You might not have time to get into it in the midst of an accident.
Yeah.
And at least make sure that your kids are wearing theirs at all times.
And no CPR. I can't stress this enough.
Yeah, learn it.
Parents, learn CPR. Don't depend on just someone else, the lifeguard, to do it. You need to, because sometimes you may be by yourself with your children.
That's right.
Learn CPR, and we have a person that does that. They, for parents, they does that, and so she does it. And so I'm gonna get in touch with her so she can come on the show or call on the show and talk about what she does. But she's very passionate about parents knowing CPR and first aid.
Very important.
It's very, and so much has changed. So much has changed. You can be at home by yourself with your child. You need to know these things, and a lot of things have changed with CPR and first aid. So you got to stay abreast. And if you don't know that, so that is something that parents, please, if you're listening, parents, get CPR first aid training.
Especially if you got young children.
Yes, especially.
So we're talking about water safety. At the end of the show, we're getting there real fast. Hot tubs are warm and moist. We love that outside, to get in a hot tub, providing, but when the warmness and the moistness of it provides a perfect environment for certain types of bacteria. Just keep that in mind. It's a frequent source of skin infections, and heat may also degrade the chemicals, making them less effective. So be mindful of that. The heat temperature of the hot tubs itself can degrade the chemicals that you put in there to make it safe. So just be mindful of that. And then the lakes, rivers. If you're swimming in lakes, rivers, and ponds, just know that these could be hygiene spots for wild animals, and can have even sewer runoff after storms. If you have floods or stuff like that in the area, the sewer runoff and everything that's in the street could run off in these lakes and rivers and ponds. So they can be at a very high risk of being contaminated. So I just wouldn't swim in lakes, rivers, and ponds. So be careful with that. No, they're not being treated. Okay.
Yeah. So we have a lot of people that have flesh-eating bacteria, things that have happened to them. So I'm not saying that, but just be mindful.
Right.
Be mindful.
Most definitely. And we already talked about about avoid swallowing water.
Yeah.
If you can. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes.
Avoid water activities if you are ill or have diarrhea,
Yes.
because those germs get in that water. Use swim diapers. If you're not yet toilet trained, or if you're an adult and you have problem with your bladder or whatever,
avoid urinating in the water.
Swim diapers. Yeah, they have swim diapers that you can wear. But, and definitely don't, get out of the water if you got to use the bathroom.
Well, some people just
get out of the water if you got to use. That's just nasty.
But
get out of the water if you got to use the bathroom. Pool drains. Don't swim around pool drain covers if the covers are missing, because if that water is draining out of that pool, that stuff can suck you in and hold you down underwater. It's just that strong. So if you notice that pool drains or covers are missing out of the pool, make sure your children don't swim around those things, or let somebody know, because if that thing starts draining water, it can suck you in and hold you down. It's very strong. Be very careful of that. Showering before getting in the water
and after.
It's very important, because it decreases the germs on your skin and the contamination that may be on your skin for just being out and about. So you want to do that before you get in the pool, and as Jackie said, and after it, because it decreases the chemicals and residue that you got from the water. So be very mindful of that. Right. And as we said, get out of that water if you got to use the bathroom. We got about 3-4 more minutes, Jackie. We shared with you. Yeah, we shared with you last week about the cooling areas in the CSRA area, but you can always go on any news website, or you can go on your county websites, and they'll tell you where they have cooling centers at. There's a lot of them in and around the area. Most of the cooling centers you'll find are at the recreation parks and facilities, buildings, or you may find some at some of your churches. I won't say all of them, but some of them, and other areas like that. I'll give you a few. Jack, unless you had something you wanted to say.
No, just trying to just trying to give the just a few that we have.
So what we have in Richmond County cooling shelters is Carrie J. Mays Center. It says that is open from 10:30 a.m. to 7 p.m. Now you can get numbers and things like that if you want to call these places. And as I said, check your news sites, the news websites. Bonnie Ward in Richmond County, Blight Center, Henry H. Bigham Center, May Park, Mac Bean Center, Sand Hill Center, Warren Road Center, Diamond Lakes Regional Park. And most of these places open up anywhere between 9 a.m. and 10 a.m. Most of them open up during that time. To get more information on, like I say, visit those websites. Columbia County also has a community center that is open, Bessie Thomas Community Center. That's from 7 to 1:30 p.m. Then Burke County Recreation Department gym is also has one open in Aiken County, the Salvation Army of Aiken. Now that's just what we have written down here, but I'm pretty sure there's many more out there.
Right.
Just check those websites to see where they are.
I just put in water cooling centers. Area cooling center, and they'll come up. So
because it's
they're
important,
out there. It's very important.
A lot of people
can't. They can't. Yeah, you're absolutely
right. You got homeless
right.
people out there. You got older people out there that may not even have AC in their homes.
Right.
That's operating properly. And at the extreme heat, they need to get out of it.
Right.
Protect themselves, because if not, it could be bad.
Right. So, guys, we are wrapping up summer fun and summer fun and summer safety. These are some of the things that you have to be mindful of. I know it's a lot of information, but it's good, relevant information to have. And this is where we at right now in the summertime, and we are wrapping up summer, so we still have a lot of heat ahead of us.
Still coming.
Your heat is on and it's still coming. So guys, be mindful out there. Make sure you're drinking plenty of fluids and staying hydrated, wearing the proper clothing, guys, that keep you cool. So if you don't have to be out there, don't be out there. But if you have to, make sure you have plenty of cool water with you to stay hydrated. Okay.
Most definitely. And we want you guys to stay tuned. Now, after we leave, Concerned Ministers Fellowship, Pastor Bush is coming up right after us with You Matter at 9 a.m. Sean Harris, Saturdays with Sean, is coming on at 10 a.m. on today. Alicia G comes on, I think it's 11 or 12.
12.
Yeah,
12 p.m.
12 p.m. Alicia G will be with you, and then Tony D will be on with the New Artist Profile at 6 p.m. I think it's 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. So make sure you keep your radio dial tuned right there to Shout 94.7 FM.
Okay, and guys, remember our weekly programs. We have Pastor Small Morning Praise at 9 a.m. Mary Harris Afternoon Praise Cafe at 12. And Minister Arlene Edwards is talking it up at 3 to 5. And then Dinner with the Flock. You want to join him from 5 to 8. And Pastor Small Jesus Jazz from 8 to 11. Guys, check those programs out in the weekday, guys. A lot of information that is out there and great programs. So you want to check those out there, guys. Don't forget, August the 23rd, we are having our welcome back celebration, guys, at the
Leslie B. Price.
Leslie
12
B.
p.m.
Price Center, our welcome lunch.
August
So guys,
23rd.
Go ahead and sign up and come on out and join us and meet us, and let's have some fun, guys. So we have been listening to Help Matters right here on WAW Shout 94.7 with Jackie
and Coach Patrick.
And guys, thank you for listening, guys. We are always grateful and kind. But remember, guys, always show and sow an act of kindness to someone every day. You never know when that act of kindness may be extended back to you. And we're here to, guys, always remember, we're here to help you to become a better you, to be the best you that you can be. We always like to leave you with 3 John 2. I wish above all things that you may prosper and be in good health, even as your soul prosper. Guys, you have a blessed and wonderful day. All right, guys. See y'all later. Gonna sign off.